All right, we've got our country song picked now. We're gonna do Wagon Wheel, the Darius Rucker version. And a couple things before jumping into this one. Earlier in the course, in the guitar and accessories portion, I mentioned getting a capo. So this song is capoed on the 2nd fret. You don't need it, but if you do want to play along with the original recording, you will. So I will use the capo, so then you can at least learn how to use this. And then when you do play along with the recording, you don't have to do anything fancy to alter the pitch of the recording you're listening to. So with the capo, we're going to take this longer rubber end here, and we're going to place it down like this. So this curved part here, or there's sometimes capos have an angled part, that goes on the back of the neck, so make sure the long straighter end goes on top, and just like that. I'll switch camera angle so you can see that a little bit more clearly. So again, I put that down, and you've got all this space here in the 2nd fret. The closer you are to the tuning pegs or the head of the guitar, the less this is going to sound good. Yeah, you can hear how buzzy that is. So get as close to this metal fret as you can without going on top of it or over it. So there's about 1 or 2 picks distance from there. So when we play that, now everything is ringing out much clearer. So, and again, if you don't have the capo, not a big deal. All this is acting as is the nut of your guitar. So if you're playing a G chord, like what's coming up in the song here, pretend that this is your capo. So if you put the capo up at the 2nd fret like we did, now this has moved here, so now you need to move your G chord over here. So let's get right into that. So the G chord, what we're going to do is we're going to place the ring finger first on the 2nd, well, we'll start on the frets. So fret 1, 2, 3 away from the capo, so it's 3 frets from the capo, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to place it on the 2nd string. So 1, 2. So that'll be your first note. Now the cool thing about this song, kind of like Sweet Home Alabama, you don't have to move this finger at all the entire song. Actually, I take that back. The E minor, you'll want to take it away, but you'll go right back to it, and you'll be able to continue. Now take your middle finger and place it on the same fret as the ring finger, so this entire fret here, and go all the way to the 6th string, which is the fattest string. So you'll see in the chord chart, or maybe in the tablature, if you're a little bit familiar with reading that, you'll see that X there. Don't worry too much about that, because your middle finger will lay comfortably where when you hear that muted note, that's a good thing, because if you hear the open string, it doesn't sound good with the rest of the chord. So we've got our middle finger there, we're blocking the 5th string, and then we've got open, open, the ring finger note, and then open again on the 1st string. So that you'll just be able to strum all the way through like that. So there's your first chord. Now the actual pattern, the strumming pattern, instead of strumming right away, what you will do is you will play that 6th string, that's your root note of this chord. You'll play that one time, and then strum. So take some time, and take your time playing that. So that gets you halfway through the first measure. And then once you've done that pick strum, you just do one more pick strum right after that, and you've completed the first measure. So altogether, that will sound like this. That's the first measure, the entire G chord. Alright, so we'll move on to the next measure, which is the D chord, or the D sus2. Some of these have algebraic looking chord names. I'll probably just call them G, D, E minor, C, even though they have some other titlings in there. So we're going to move to this D chord, and we're going to peel off our middle finger. Don't need that anymore, but keep your ring finger there. Remember, that's only going to move one time this entire song. Now we'll take our index finger and place it in the second fret from the capo. So here's fret 1, fret 2, and we'll put it on string 3. 1, 2, 3. So that should sound like this. And now this chord is going to start from the 4th string. So starting from the 1st string, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's our starting point. Give it a strum. Maybe play it one string at a time. And it's common with this D chord to, if you're hearing a muting issue like that, just take these large knuckles here and just try and push it forward, maybe a couple millimeters, very small. Just push it forward a little bit, and that'll help that ring finger get up and over that 1st string. So if my finger's kind of flat, my knuckles are back, it's muted, but if I push those knuckles out, now I'm up and over that 1st string. So now we've got the D sus2 that's going to follow the same pick-strum pattern. So this one will start from the 4th string and then strum. And do that 2 times. So we've got pick, strum, pick, strum. So now might be a good time to go back to that G chord. So peel off the index, put the middle finger back here. Peel that off, put the index back on. And just do that a couple times so you can get your fingers used to that movement. Once you're through that, we'll move to the E minor chord. So now we'll pick up both fingers. Let's start with the middle finger. We're going to move that to fret 2, so 1, 2, and then up to the 5th string, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the middle finger is going to be in the same fret on the string just below that middle finger. So string 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this chord, you get to strum everything. Again, if you hear any muted notes like that, just push those knuckles out just a couple millimeters, and you'll be fine. Again, same strumming pattern, this time going back to the 6th string, like the G chord. So pick and strum, and we'll do that 2 times. So that's the 3rd measure, the E minor measure. So once you've got that under your fingers, now you can move to the C add 9, or just the C chord. So the best way to think about moving here is just watch that middle finger, and we're just going to keep it on the same string and slide it back up to the 3rd fret. So we went from here to here, not very far. And then we're going to put that ring finger back where it was for the G and the D chords on the 3rd fret from the capo, 2nd string. So give that a strum. Now this chord, it shows an X right below this finger. If it rings out open, that's okay, not a big deal. But again, if your middle finger's relaxed, it'll mute it, and that'll be just fine. Either way is okay for this song. It's not too big of a deal. So now we've got our pick strum pattern. This one's a little different because we're starting from the 5th string. Do that 2 times. So that gets us through the entire first line of the music. I'll start from the G chord and play all the way to the 4th measure of the C chord. So starting on G, we've got that one more time. So once we finish the C chord, we're going to line 2, and that goes back to the G chord. So this is a very simple switch. If you've already tried the Sweet Home Alabama, you'll recognize this movement. We're going to move from C with the middle finger and just move that middle finger from the 5th string to the 6th string, our fattest one here. And then do our pick strum pattern starting from the 6th string. Probably already mastered that. So now we go again from G to D. So we're going to peel off the middle finger, put the index finger on string 3, and pick strum from the 4th string. So again, just like line 1, on line 2 we start with G, go to D. So once we finish the D chord, and you're comfortable going up and back between G and D, now we are going to peel off our index finger and put our middle finger down on the 3rd fret from the capo, 5th string for C, and this is going to take us out to the end of the song. So starting from the 5th string, pick strum. We do that 2 times for the first measure, but we have 2 measures of C in this part, so now we're going to do that 2 times in a row. So I'll start from measure 5, 6, 7. I'll play measure 7 and 8. One more time. So that finishes line 2. I will start at the beginning of line 2 from the G chord, so I'll go G, D, C, C. So starting from G. One more time. So now let's tie all of it together. I'll do line 1 and 2, starting from G, G, D, E minor, C, line 2, G, D, C, C. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the entire song is just that. So if you can repeat that from the beginning, go all the way through. Once you hit the end of the song, I think the song fades out. You know, if you want to match the fade out, that's more than fine. It's good work on your dynamics. Try and play it softly as it fades out. But that's the entire song. It's just that those 8 measures looped over and over and over again. So I'll play it one more time. Actually, I'll play it 2 times in a row. There you have it. That's all of Wagon Wheel. It's a nice simple song using not typical, country chords. Usually you're using the big, 3-finger chords, the typical cowboy chords, but this is a good way to get into the song with just 2 fingers, and they still work really well in this context because it is a more modern country song. So we've just gotten used to these type of suspended, using other notes that are typically outside of a major or minor chord within this type of context. So should be nice and simple for you. Good luck, and see you in the next video.